Hey, what's up, everybody? Every now and again, the business boys run a little bit late, but I get a chance to sit and talk to their guests. We decided that we're going to make a podcast with it, and so here it is. We're going to call this one the...
Creative Business Trundys.
And this is my interview with...
Michael Broadway.
When did you start doing it?
88.
88.
Yeah, y'all probably wasn't even born then.
I was in 1976.
Okay.
You know, it's funny because I grew up watching wrestling and stuff,
Right.
and so a lot of those guys bodybuilders, and then they started that World Bodybuilding Federation, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that was like my introduction to it. I'd see it on TV, like, what the fuck, these guys? You know what I mean? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like a crazy amount of discipline that goes into that.
Yeah. I went to Ric Flair's wrestling school.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
And, fuck that shit, dude.
Yeah, not for.
I tell everybody, they say, oh, that's fake. It's fake to see it on TV, but to go through the training is not fake.
Yeah, man.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
every bit of getting your head smacked and
Yeah.
getting slammed on a mat and learning how to hit the mat, learn how to, when you throw somebody down, how to stomp your foot at the same time.
Yeah, I did it I wrestled for 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I was talking to a buddy last night because he wrestled as well. We both got out of it, but
Yeah.
he was telling a story about the first time he did it. He's in the ring and the guy's like, I'm gonna hit you a couple times. And so he didn't know better. So he just leaned in. The dude knocked him out. And I was like, yeah, that. And then one of the, I think it was Neil, was like, they didn't tell you how to take it? I was like, that's how they tell you.
That's how you tell you.
They knock you out and they're like, well, don't do that no more.
You learn.
Yeah.
You learn. Because I just remember getting smacked in the chest. I was like, shit.
Yeah, them chops are real.
This shit is real.
Yeah. What was the thing that got you into, how did you find bodybuilding?
Man, I mean, bodybuilding. I was a professional bodybuilder at 10 years old.
Really?
Like my mindset was, when I seen Arnold, Frank Zane, Lou Ferrigno, all the legends of bodybuilding, it really turned me on to lifting weights. And we lifted weights all the time anyway, because I was a pole vaulter coming up.
Okay.
And but you ain't gonna believe this crazy shit. Now I was pole vaulting on a bamboo pole.
Okay.
In the
Like Jackie
country.
Chan stuff.
In the country.
In the country.
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
old mattresses that my mom threw out. We put them all on the
Yeah.
side. We built the standards up and measured them out.
Wow.
And my first, I would say my first legal pole vault, I couldn't even pole vault my age group.
Really?
I was pole vaulting so high I couldn't even pole vault my
Really?
age group
Wow.
in AAU track. I couldn't even pole
So
vault.
you was just an athlete.
Yeah,
right from the get.
born into it with my family and stuff. My brother that passed away was my trainer, and
Gotcha.
dude created this crazy like body, and I was ranked 5th in the world.
Wow.
You know, and I tell
Wow.
everybody, like, they talk about the stuff they're doing today. I said, well, you would have had to do it when I was doing bodybuilding. There wasn't all these other divisions.
Yeah.
There was just bodybuilder. I went to California, and there was 48 guys in my class, and only 5 people can be seen at night.
Wow.
So, you know, and made the top 10. And you come back home, so, hey, top 10? I said, there were 48 at the show.
Wow.
They cut it down to 15.
Wow.
So, you know,
That's wild. Man.
you think about 30-something people going home that same day. They went on stage. They were leaving.
When you were young and you're training with just whatever's around you, bamboo poles and old mattresses.
It was old mattresses with lifting weights with center blocks and
You make do with what you have.
Yeah, like corrugated steel was running it through putting the blocks on it and doing Olympic lifts. And
Those
stuff.
are like the best workouts.
Yeah,
right?
they were, man.
Because you're working everything. You know what I mean?
And you don't know what is painful.
Yes, sir.
It's like, you pick it up like, man, that's heavy. But, you know, I would tell you the worst shit is that damn brick. That brick slides inside and catch your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That pinch right
that's
here.
What, That's that hurting part. That's that like, just we need to get some real weights.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So when you started working out and actually training in like the facilities, when you finally found that, what was the difference between that and working out with cinder blocks and shit like that?
Just the time spent between transferring between taking like we had an old DP set bought from Roses.
Okay.
Where you had the cement block and you had the weights and you had to switch out everything.
Yeah.
In a gym, you don't have to do that.
Gotcha. It's just a pin.
It's just a pin, either dumbbells, and you go to one weight to the next. And you know, at my age of 23, I was dumbbell overhead lifting 180 pounds.
Good day.
You know, the crazy thing was my brother was lifting more than that.
Really?
And we were some of the strongest guys in the gym.
Wow, man. Is that out in California?
This was here. This was in North Carolina. When I really started taking off was here.
Okay.
I went to California for 2 years, trained out there, came back, and just learned a different style of training because they believe in that fast-paced training.
Was that what it was? Going to California was to just learn that new style, or was
I
it
was
to go
young,
there and
man.
stay there? Or?
Yeah, I was young. My mom told me, she said, if you're going to do it, you better go out there while them boys are young so you get back and be a daddy.
It's like Rocky going out to the mountains.
So you see what I'm saying? 2 years.
Yeah.
And I come back, you know, and I just, bodybuilding was like 110. I was going 110, man. Just
it's a real sacrifice endeavor, right? Like you gotta give up so much around you.
Just like I wouldn't go to family reunions because of how they were eating.
It's difficult to stay away from that mac and cheese.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially in the South.
My mom done bananas from scratch. And I was like, I'm going there just for the
banana.
It's
just making me hungry right now. Think about it.
In the yams.
Yeah.
You know, and just, and my family didn't understand, like my uncles and stuff didn't understand the concept of what stuff we were doing. Like,
go ahead, boy, eat the food.
Well, I got picked up it got sponsored by this supplement company, and they did synthetic growth hormone. Okay. Which is a supplement. It's not a steroid. And you know, country folks. So I go to family reunion and stand outside with all my uncles. They said, so you using them steroids? I said, steroids? I said, you mean steroids? I said, number one, let's learn how to pronounce it right. In my head, that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to get smacked upside the head. But then I had to explain to them, I was sponsoring this company that has a supplement. It's not a legal steroid.
Right.
I said, if you would have kept reading on down past steroid, you'd have seen under the bottom where it said a synthetic supplement, and it's not a steroid.
Right.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, I can't believe I'm sitting out here having this argument with my uncles and them, and they just like, I said, I ain't gonna eat. Leave me alone. I gotta go eat.
So when you were younger, making those sacrifices, as far as like just the things you can intake and enjoy. I mean, when your body's a machine like that, especially when you're being sponsored, like you have a responsibility to other things to stay clean and are you still eating? I mean, you look fantastic. Are you still eating very clean?
It's not a time that I'm not dieting. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm trying to watch. I train for a living, so I don't want to walk into this room with you guys and say I want to be your trainer. You looking like, God dang, boy, this motherfucker fat as shit.
I can't go to
train me. Damn, I mean, both of them eating donuts in the damn gym.
No, that I would sign up for that trade.
You know what I'm saying? Got beer over in the corner, but I have an image that I have to uphold as a professional trainer.
Yeah,
you know, and when I talk with the young trainers, I try to school them on taking care of yourself. This is a 24-hour job for us because we're expecting people to do what you're asking them to do. But you look like somebody that's sitting around eating nothing but popcorn all day.
Yeah, it's easier to, when you're asking people to do things, if they know that you're already making those sacrifices.
That's right, man. Especially women.
Yeah.
You know, and their perception of you is like when they see you, like, if he looks good, then I know he take care of himself.
Right.
He's going to help me out. The guys, you just got to go in with them and say, look, either you're going to do it right or I won't train you. That's my whole motto is how I'll go with it. It's like, if I'm training you, if you don't want to do what I'm asking you to do, I'll fire myself.
Right.
That is in our first consultation is, if I don't feel like you're listening to me, I'll fire myself.
Got you.
Because the way you look every day you walk in this gym, it's important to the people I'm trying to pick up as clients.
Yes, they're walking business cards. Yeah,
exactly. Because I don't even advertise.
Right.
I don't advertise. I got people in Wilmington that I train.
Yeah.
And I pick them up about every other month. I pick up a new client.
Where's the discipline come from for you? Like how young were you when you found that? Like, so when you're young and you're working out with your brother and you're
after college, going home, dealing with my brother, like. The speeches he would give me would be like, your discipline, if you want to be great, you got to do it this way. Mm-hmm. You got to follow this script the whole time. If you just want to be one of the guys in the gym like these dudes, just follow them.
Right.
Don't follow me, follow them. He said they're gonna follow.
Where did he get the discipline?
he was already trained. He was the bookworm. He was the one that did all the reading in the magazines, and I only followed him.
Yeah.
And if he told me go eat grass, I go eat grass. You know, and if he told me go lift up that building over there, I go lift up that building over there. I mean, because I'm probably one of the strongest guys in North Carolina when it comes to lifting, because at 180 pounds, I had a 475 bench press. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about repping it. I ain't talking about like one max.
Yeah.
Like we did bench press meets back in the 80s, you know, in 90s, where that was really big. And I think that kept me focused to strength-wise.
Is it a competition in your head when you're lifting like that? It's always personal records and things like that?
Well, see, the thing with me, I stopped thinking about the personal records. I started thinking about the success of my body.
Gotcha.
You know, and then like how much can my body change? Like, and when I would go to a show, say when I first started in bodybuilding, I was like one of the top 5 guys in North Carolina.
Okay.
After 2 years, I was the guy in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Just from the discipline of training and staying focused on what I was wanting to do.
Did you, was it in your head to be the guy in North Carolina, or was that just a byproduct?
It was in my brother's head for me to be the guy in North Carolina. And I just fed into it.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's got a system. You know, just like you talk about in football. If those guys are not fed into the coach's system,
you got to buy in.
You got to buy into it. I was all in. I didn't know any better. I was all in. You know,
that's what makes a great student.
So, and he didn't have to worry about me questioning him or nothing. He told me, "We come in the gym, be quiet, let's work out." Guys come up to me to train. My brother tell them we training.
Yeah,
I didn't, but they told us they thought we was gonna like jump on people in the gym.
Right.
Like the way he taught me was, you come in the gym like you're mad at the world. When you leave, you got to turn it off. You know, I tell guys today that are being jerks to people, you got to turn that off sometime. Because I had a guy, just taking the example, I was training with a guy, and I got sponsored by a chiropractor here in Greensboro. He wanted to get sponsored too. Yeah. So I asked the guy, I said, "You want to pick him up and sponsor him?" He said, "That dude ain't never spoke to me not one time in the gym." Attitudes. You got to be able to turn it off. Yeah. And I told him, I said, he told me you have never spoke to him not one time in this gym. I said, bro, it's relationships you build. Yeah. And I built a bunch of them because I had like 5 chiropractors paying for all my trips and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I would raise like $5,000 just to go travel. Yeah. And when you're getting sponsored by these folks, it's just is it a matter of wearing a T-shirt, a patch on some shorts, or whatever? Yeah. Just like when I would go to shows, man, I can't tell you how many times I was on ESPN and just shouting stuff out. And then first thing I tell them, we're gonna be on TV on this day at this time. And they just cared about, they didn't really care about the exposure more than helping. But it helped them feel good about what I was talking about. Well, that's that relationship. Yeah. It's a mutual benefit. Every newspaper in Greensboro that covered me, I mentioned my sponsors. You know, and I'm talking about, I was one of the guys in the state of North Carolina. I was one of the pioneers of North Carolina bodybuilding. Think about Arnold had just retired in 80. Yeah. I was just coming out of high school in 83. Yeah. In 88, I was starting to make that climb. That's wild, man. You know, and then my brother was there. I mean, it's so many people that's in North Carolina, but I can count like 5 of them on one hand that we created the North Carolina brand. Yeah. You know, and we were doing it. I mean, I was traveling from here, traveling to California. Was there much of a scene here before you and your brother started? Or was it was a lot of shows here. Yeah. But we were like stars when we would come out, man. We would come do a local show. I think I did local shows up to probably 90, and the head guy of MPC said, "You can't compete in North Carolina anymore." Oh, yeah, yeah. They said, "You're going to start getting bad placements because they think you trophy hunting now." Gotcha. Because I would go to a show at 154 pounds and win. What's wrong with trophy hunting? It's bad when it comes to sportsmanship. Okay. It's all about you got to let some other people win? Yeah, man. I mean, it's just like if me and you been competing against each other for 5 years and I win every time. And you would win every time. You play second, you would say play second every time. You know, I'm going to say you play second. I mean, there's only 2 people in the show. But anyway, it's crazy because they were like, almost like jealous of what we were doing. But I understood it. I got it because I should have already moved up.
Sure, yeah, I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was afraid to go to that next level, you know, because
what was the fear with that?
The fear was when you go to the next level, you're gonna get everybody in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to Chicago. My first national show was in Chicago. Remember that stuff, man, at 23 years old. I remember. I went to Chicago. Nobody knew me there.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on the floor talking with my brother, you know, and he says, "You have nothing to worry about. You're one of the best bodies here. You know, get on stage, do my thing." ESPN interviews me, and they're talking like I won the show.
Right.
And I didn't. I placed 3rd.
Yeah.
But that was my very first national show.
National show
to
third.
place was like, wow. I was like, maybe I do belong here.
Isn't it? It's wild. So, you know, I'm a comedian and local for a while, and then I started touring. And it's a little bit of the same going other places. Like, oh, is this going to work in other places?
Right.
Am I only funny where I am? You know what I mean? Am I talented because I'm in a small group? And then that reassurance when you go somewhere else and it works is a different type of confidence you get from that, right?
Yeah. And it's crazy, man, because when I got go on stage, because you ain't gonna believe this neither. I used to break dance.
I believe it, man. You say whatever the fuck you want. I'm with you.
I used to break dance. And then the group that we were with out of Salisbury.
How old were you when you started breakdancing?
20. I had always done it, but at 23 and 24, we really started.
What was the name of your crew?
I can't even remember the name of the crew, man.
All right.
Do you watch? I'm gonna tell you a guy that's in the group that's in the movies right now.
Oh, all right.
Have you seen Let the Right One In? It just started coming on. Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
There's the black guy with the afro.
Okay.
That's the chef who owns the restaurant.
Okay.
He's from Salisbury.
All right.
He starred in. He was in another show on FX, and we were just like laughing because we all were in the breakdancing together.
Yeah.
And we opened for the Fat Boys.
Fat Boy, huh?
Run DMC.
The Fat Boys, back.
Queen Latifah and LL Cool J.
Wow, that's
up in New York
That's
City.
like legends, man.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? But we were nobody. We were just a group that was out front doing the dancing. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew us. They just got invited to it.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody, I said, like, when I go to my shows, I pop lock and stuff in my routine.
Do you really?
And dude, I got like guest appearances to shows and made money.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty unique thing to see a guy so built and big being that flexible and moving around like that. And
it was fun. And like I said, that's how I met Neil at probably one of his craziest places in his life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I met Neil and helped him get to a certain place. And
yeah, I'm excited to talk to him about that because he was telling me a little bit about that the other day. Earlier, you said your personality at the gym is different than your personality in your life. You have to shut that off.
Yeah.
How do you manage that? What are the exercises you got to go through? Is it just as easy as saying, I ain't that motherfucker right now?
Right. Well, see, the whole thing I tell people is like, no one in your house asked you to do this. No one. Why are you mad at them? Because they're eating pizza in front of you.
Yeah.
That's your fucking problem.
Okay.
That is my problem. That is not yours. You eat all the pizza and donuts you want. I'm going to stick to my grilled chicken, broccoli. As nasty as it sounds, I'm going to eat it all.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how we've been for probably for the last 25 years, man. I just don't care. Bro, I grew up dirt poor. Mm-hmm. The food that was on the table was what we had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Food don't motivate me because I never had it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do with it if I did get it. I couldn't eat it all because I don't care for it.
Yeah.
You know, and so people ask me like, I did a show to get my pro card. I just did a show in New Jersey at 189 pounds. 6 weeks later was the next show. I told my coach, I'm going to drop down to 176. I was already at 4% body fat.
Wow. How do you lose 13 pounds like that?
3 hours of cardio.
Yeah.
3 hours of cardio. Cut into my calorie deficit. I mean, I might have ate 3 meals.
You wearing the garbage bag suit and all
Nah,
that?
man, I had this stuff they call sweet sweat. Put that stuff on, man.
Yeah.
Put my suit on, go in there and just sweat
Yeah.
and work.
Yeah.
Like, I tell people, you can't tell me you're hungry because I've starved, you know?
Yeah.
And I always use the philosophy, they say, I'm hungry. I said, nah, the kids over in Africa are hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not.
You're bored. Yeah, that's me. I'm bored. I just want to.
Yeah.
Man, if I go like, I can eat and then I just want to eat again because I got this stuff today. You know what I mean? So whenever I meet somebody who's got that discipline,
Yeah.
I got a couple of friends who are super into fitness, and you know, I respect it, man. I think that it's fantastic. Every time I see it, even with Neil, it's like you know, I was asking him yesterday. I was like, "What's your diet? What's your diet like now? It's broccoli, steamed chicken, stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just stay
And a little bit
with
of pizza. I mean, you know,
Yeah, here and
I'm
there.
probably 85% diet.
Yeah.
When I'm prepping for a show, 100%.
Do you indulge a little bit more now that you're older, or a little less because you're
A
older?
little less because I'm older, because
Yeah,
I
'cause
can't
it
get
hits you
away with a
different,
lot
right?
of that stuff. That's right, man.
Yeah.
I'm not used to my daughter. Man, believe it or not, man, I got a 4-year-old.
Hell yeah.
She slapped my stomach the other night. She said, "Hey, look at your big stomach." I said, "Yo, look at your big stomach, just like mine."
That's funny.
You know?
Yeah, you and Neil have kids around the same age.
Yeah.
I'm Casey Kasem.